The Sphere is coming up, and it's safe to say that I'm a little concerned and confused because this is what Dana White had to say about the Sphere.
Well, first of all, I will tell you this about the Sphere. It will be the biggest gate of all time. Number two, it won't be the greatest UFC event of all. It will be the greatest sporting event of all time.
Look, I know. We're not off to a good start. And from the looks of it, it does not look like it's going to be the best card or whatever, the best sporting event ever. And I don't know if he means that from the production side, but if he wants it to be the best ever, the production, cool. But the fights need to be good as well with big names. Okay, first of all, delete the women's fights. Let's get these out of here. Aldana is okay. She's like decently entertaining, but Yasmin and Kelton, get them out. I'm going to probably shoot Yasmin a message and tell her to just pull out of the fight, and I'll pay her salary. Just pull out of the fight, okay? We'll tell her that, and they'll be gone, so we don't have to worry about that. The Michelle Anthony Hernandez fight is a good fight. I love it. But when we're talking about, this needs to be the featured prelim. It needs to be, okay? This has to be the featured prelim. Don't care. Edgar Chariz and Kevin Borjas and Ronaldo Lopez and Ode Osborne all need to be early prelims. If they're anything above that, we're in some trouble. And if Aldana and Dumont are on the main card, we are in big trouble, okay? But I have a feeling this is not it. And look, I'm here to save the day. I'm going to save this card, put all my might into it. I'm going to do it. Don't worry about it. I got some shit lined up for this, and I'm going to get it done the right way. And this is going to look a lot different. You heard what I had to say. Yasmin, I'm going to shoot her a message and pay for her salary. She's not fighting. We're going to get something else going, and yeah. The first prelim that I got, this will be maybe 2 fights away from the featured prelim. I got Daniel Zellhuber versus Jamie Malarkey. Zellhuber is undefeated in the UFC, I believe. He's a great fighter, very long and rangy guy, and Malarkey is himself. I think this is a great stylistic fight. Be super exciting to watch these guys. I mean, Malarkey's a striker. Zellhuber is a striker. I think it'd be a great fight. I think it'd be closer than people would imagine, but I would ultimately pick Zellhuber. But I love this fight. I love it, and I think this would be a great fight to add as a prelim. So yeah. Next up, Raul Rosas and Brian Kelleher. I actually picked this fight for Raul Rosas after he beat Ricky Tercios. I still think you do this fight. Oh my God, fucking loud ass thunder. I still think you do this fight. Raul Rosas is 19 years old. Very young. I don't think he should climb up the rankings too fast. And Kelleher is old. He's pretty much on his way out. And this is pretty much a layup fight for Raul. I think he beats Kelleher pretty bad and subs him probably in the first round. But yeah, it's a bit of a step up, but nothing too crazy and nothing that Raul Rosas can't handle. And I like Raul here, and I think this is a good fight you add because, he's young. You don't push him too much. Give him an older guy who's on his way out. I love this fight, and the next fight will be on the main card. Diego Lopez and Aljamain Sterling. Diego Lopez represents Mexico. He trains out of Mexico, but he is a Brazilian. But Aljo has called him out, and Lopez has talked about fighting on the Sphere. After he beat Dan Ige, he said he wanted to fight on the Sphere, and I think he'd do this fight. I know people were in talks about Movsar versus Aljo. I don't really know what's going on with that fight. It doesn't seem like it's going to go through. And people also talked about Diego Lopez and Movsar again, and I don't want to see that. I want to see a new guy in there. I think Aljamain Sterling is a really tough test for Diego. I think it's the toughest test he can have in this division, one of them for sure. Obviously, I think the guys at the top like Ilya and Max are going to be really tough as well, but Aljo is a very tough fight for him. I mean, Aljo has a good ability to hold you down, one of the best grapplers, one of the best back takers. I think he's going to be able to hold Lopez down. You know, we saw him hold Calvin Kattar down easily. And Lopez, you know, towards the end of the second and the third round versus Movsar, he got held down. And he tends to gas out because he throws everything into his shots. I like Aljamain Sterling here. I think it'd be a really good fight. Obviously, on the feet, you know who's more explosive? Lopez is more explosive. I think he obviously has the opportunities to hurt Aljo and maybe get him out of there in the first couple of rounds. But, you know, Aljo's crafty, and, you know, if he can get Lopez to the mat, or on his back, I don't know if Lopez will be able to get up, because I think that's how good Aljo is at holding people down. And, yeah, I love this fight. Next up, Kamaru Usman versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Wow. We got a good fight here. This is a big test. These guys used to train together, but they have said that they would fight each other, yes. You know, Usman hasn't fought in a minute, but he fought Khamzat on short notice and put up a good fight. I thought that fight was a draw. Shavkat is a great fighter, very dangerous, 18-0, I believe, 18 finishes. Look, this is a title eliminator for sure. Obviously, I'd like to see Gary, or I would have loved to seen JDM fight Shavkat for a title eliminator, but I believe JDM isn't going to be available for a little while, and I think you get Shavkat back in there versus a guy like Kamaru, a veteran, you know, who is one of the best welterweights of all time. Be a really big test for him. I would love to see this for 5 rounds, but, you know, due to it being not a main event or co-main, I don't think it will be. But, yeah, you could definitely do this as a co-main event pretty much anywhere. But if we're talking about this card and how important it is, I think you can do this fight on the main card. Like I said, dangerous fight for Shavkat, dangerous fight for Kamaru as well. Kamaru only been finished by Leon, I believe, and going up against a guy who is all finishes. I like Kamaru's chances in this fight. I think this will be a really close fight. You know, Shavkat is a great fighter, obviously, with great striking and grappling, but I think Kamaru holds the dog in the wrestling edge. This would be an insane fight. Like I said, it's kind of a push for me. I think this would be better as like a 5-round co-main event for a card. Maybe like you do that at Salt Lake City on 307. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, they might do that. I'm just going to leave this here, though. Maybe they don't do it. Maybe they do. But I'd love to see this at the Sphere. All right. This fight's going to be here for sure. We got Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso 3 for the flyweight title. You know, they've had some pretty good fights. It was a draw last time out. Alexa, you know, choked out Valentina. I think this would be a good fight. Like I said, this is going to be a really good card in all hopes, and I'm here to save it. And this will be one of the 3 title fights on this card. Co-main event, 5 rounds. You do 5 rounds for Valentina. You do 5 rounds here and 5 rounds in the main event. Merab versus Sean O'Malley. I know people think this is going to be the main event, but look, like I said, I have high expectations for this card. I'm not fucking around here. You know, that's what Dana said, and I believe in Dana, so we'll see. But Merab is really liked by the Mexican people. They really do like Merab. You know, he did that shit versus Cejudo where he was like trying to get all the Mexican fans to like him, and they like him a lot. And Sean, you know, I believe he might be part Mexican. I don't really know. But look, this fight has been in talks. It's absolutely going to get booked. I think it'll be on the Sphere for sure. It might be the main event. I'm hoping, you know, hoping it's not, but it probably will be. But, yeah, this is a great fight. Obviously, you know, stylistically, opposite fighters. Merab's just an insane pace grappler, and Suga has the ability definitely to knock Merab out. We'll see how this fight goes, but I think I'm going to pick Suga here. I just think he'll find a shot. You know, he'll have 5 opportunities because I don't think he's going to get finished by Merab, but I think Merab, you know, will be able to grab a hold of him and, you know, beat him up in the clinch, but I think Suga will be able to find a shot to put Merab out. And obviously this fight, I do think will be on 306. It might be the main event. I'm hoping not, but we'll see. Main event. I know what you're thinking. Wait, Alex just fought. Yeah, I know. But Alex didn't take any damage. He says he wants to fight a lot. People have talked about Magomed Ankalaev's visa issues and he cannot get into the U.S. I don't know what that is about, but I think you put this fight here. I think you do. I know people were talking about Max and Ilya. I understand. I think you do this, though. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, really. I mean, it's going to happen, but I don't know. It's not, talked about enough for me to think it's going to happen at 306. But like I said, Alex said he wanted to fight on 305, and Ankalaev should be ready. I mean, he fought in January, so I think you do this for the main event. Look, this would be one of the best cards best cards ever, and maybe my expectations are a little too much. I think they are, but I would, like I said, I want to see this. I want to see all these fights. So, yeah, I think, I don't know who wins this fight because Magomed's been talking a lot and Alex has been killing people, but I think you do this for the main event. You get this whole card. You put three title fights on it, and with some stacked main card and stacked prelims as well. I got a good amount of Mexican fighters on there. I love this, and I hope the UFC does this. Dana, please listen to me. I'm the best matchmaker. And then for 307, you tone it down a little bit. You're in Salt Lake City. You do Max versus Ilya in Salt Lake City.